right, we're here at Axiom Fitness in Boise, Idaho for the workout overview video. Now, today we're going to be doing workout 1, which is chest, tris, and abs. You're going to be doing workout 1 each week of the program. However, the rep ranges are going to change each week with the microcycles. So we're in week 1. This is going to be the 9 to 11 rep range. If you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you check out the training overview video where I break down the microcycles and the rep ranges. With each workout, we're going to be doing cardio acceleration, which basically means we're going to be doing about a minute of cardio in between every single set. So with the bench press, you do a set of bench press, about a minute of cardio. So here's a breakdown of all the exercises that I'll be performing today. Now let's get into the first one, flat bench press. All right, now we're going to be doing 4 sets on the bench press. Remember, for most of the large and major muscle groups, we'll be doing 4 sets per exercise as the first exercise. Other smaller muscle groups, like biceps, abs, calves, will be doing just 3. But with the major muscle groups, we'll be doing 4 sets on that first exercise. Now, I start each workout with cardio acceleration. Although I describe it as being in between every set, we're going to start the workout with cardio acceleration as just a general warm-up. Now, I'm at the bench press, and the real key to cardio acceleration is not running somewhere across the gym. You're in a busy gym, you're going to lose your bench. So you want to incorporate cardio acceleration moves that keep you moving, keep your heart rate up, but you can do right here. One of the things I love to do with a bench is I just do step-ups. So I'm going to start the workout with step-ups and with a rising knee just to add some more calorie burn and explosiveness to it. Now we're doing 9 to 11 reps. So even as I get up to my working weight, that's not going to be that much weight in that rep range. So one warm-up will suffice for me today. But as you get heavier, during the microcycles, as they proceed, the weight gets heavier, the reps go down, you're going to require more warm-ups, 2, maybe even 3 warm-ups to get up to your working weight. Now remember, the point of your warm-up is not to fatigue the muscle. So doing 9 to 11 rep range, I went up to about 8 reps with quite an easy weight. I like to do on the bench press a bit more explosive movement on the warm-ups. It helps to warm up those fast twitch muscle fibers, which are going to be critical on the bench press for moving heavier weight. Now remember, the point of the workout is to move right into cardio acceleration, then to the next set. So the only reason I'm stopping right now is to give you these tips, but normally I'd be right back doing my bench step-ups. I'll be doing about a minute of cardio acceleration during this workout. I like to use a timer right there on my iPhone. If you don't have a smartphone, it has a timer on it. Use any timer, make sure you're hitting that full minute, and then boom, right into your next set. Once the set's done, you're going right back into your cardio acceleration. There's no rest. Your rest is your cardio acceleration. Now obviously you want to change your weight as quickly as possible, but one tip I recommend is that when you do change your weight, do it after the cardio acceleration. That way you get a little bit of a breather before your weight set, where it really matters most. I always recommend having an iPod or other personal music player so you have your favorite music going. It's going to make a big difference in your strength and your endurance during these fast-paced workouts. Now you're only worried about the number of reps you complete on the first set of each exercise. You're only resting about a minute between working sets, and that minute you're doing cardio acceleration. So you're not going to be able to stick with that rep range as the sets go on. Keep the weight the same regardless of how few reps you get. All right, that's the fourth and final set of the bench press, we're going to move on to the second exercise, incline dumbbell presses. From here on out, we'll be doing 3 sets per exercise for chest. Now, I'll be doing cardio acceleration as well. My cardio acceleration, since I'm right here at the dumbbell rack, is going to be dumbbell cleans. I'll get into more detail on that as we get into them. But a quick tip I want to give you guys is to make sure that you add the Shortcut to Shred program to your body calendar on your Body Space account and then sync it to your phone. That way you've got the workouts right there on your phone. You don't have to check them on a computer. You can bring it to the gym or check them right before you start your workout. That accountability will help you stay consistent with the program, and that's how you're going to get the best gains. You can do both bodyweight exercises like step-ups on the bench as we did on the bench press, but don't be afraid to incorporate weights into your cardio acceleration. When it comes to choosing weight, it's really hit or miss in finding what works best for you. My tip is to go as light as possible at the beginning, because look, you're trying to do this for a full minute. It's not, even though this is an explosive exercise, it's gonna help you build power. You're not focusing on the power aspect here with cardio acceleration. You're focusing on burning calories. So start extremely light. Now remember, this is the first workout for chest during the week. We're gonna be doing 2 workouts for each body part. First workout for chest is all multi-joint exercises. These are your major mass builders. They allow you to use more weight, and using more weight places more overload on the pec muscles, the chest, and that helps to stimulate more muscle growth. All right, we're on to our third and final exercise for chest, the decline Smith machine bench press. For my cardio acceleration during this set, I'm gonna simply run in place. It's probably the easiest form of cardio acceleration that you can do. It works anywhere, regardless of how tight of a spot you're in. Now, as you'll notice, I have a flat bench here because Axiom does not have an adjustable decline bench that we can bring over. So you've got 2 options if this is the same case in your gym. If you have a standard decline bench press setup for a freeweight barbell, go ahead and use that, swap that out. Or you can do what I'm gonna do here, and that's simply using a flat bench, but I'm gonna get in what we call a bridge position, my feet up on the bench, my body's gonna be angled, and I'm essentially gonna create my own decline. Now we've already done 2 chest exercises, so my chest is completely warmed up. I don't need to go into a warm-up set, especially with this 9 to 11 rep range. If you want, as the weight gets heavier during microcycles 2 and 3, you can do a warm-up. Just remember, you do a warm-up set, you don't rest between warm-ups, you've got another set of cardio acceleration. Now, those of you who are familiar with the anatomy of the pecs, you'll recognize the fact that we're hitting all 3 major areas. We started with the flat bench press. Flat pressing movements mainly hit the middle area of the pecs. Then we moved on to incline dumbbell press. That helps hit more of the upper pec area. And now at a decline, the arms are going to be coming down closer to the sides of the body as opposed to up on the flat and up on the incline. That's going to hit more of the lower portion of the pecs. So we're hitting all those muscle fibers. Anytime we're interested in maximizing muscle growth, we want to focus on hitting as many muscle fibers in a specific muscle as possible. All right, done with chest. We're gonna head straight over to dips for triceps. We're gonna do 4 sets of dips focusing on triceps, and I'll get into the distinction between doing dips to focus more on the triceps versus chest. We'll get into that exercise. My cardiac acceleration move here is gonna be kettlebell swings, or in this case, dumbbell swings. We don't have kettlebells here. If your gym does have a kettlebell, obviously kettlebell swings make a great move, but this little adjustment shows you how to do it with a dumbbell. Now remember, it's important to track your progress on the Shortcut to Shred program. We're changing up weight every week, and we have 2 different periodization schemes, the linear periodization and then the reverse periodization. So there's a lot of variables here with your weight and rep ranges. Now to focus on doing dips for the triceps, the 2 key things you want to focus on are your elbows and your body, your torso. With the elbows, you want to come in as close, keep them as close to your sides. Now, this one can flip out, so if I went out, this would be more for chest. I'm going to keep it in, so I keep my elbows close to my body, and then when I dip down, I keep them close. And then the other thing I'm doing is I'm keeping my body as upright as possible. Instead of holding the dumbbell by the handle, you're gonna hold it just with your fingertips on the weight plate. And then you're gonna swing it between your legs. Now remember, all the motion is coming from my hips. So I swing it up. I'm not using my shoulders, I'm not using my arms. My arms are just holding onto the dumbbell. That momentum is all from the explosion as I extend at the knees and the hips. Now, I recommend, although I have it listed as the standard barbell close grip bench press, that if you have access to a Smith machine, consider doing the close grip bench press on a Smith machine. And the reason is that you've just finished your chest and then moved on to dips for triceps. All multi-joint exercises all involve both the chest and the triceps. So by the time you get here, your triceps are fried. It's going to be tough to move any weight or focus on the triceps. Anytime you're doing the Smith machine with a bench, you want to make sure that you have the bench set up perfectly in the middle of the Smith machine. Now, you can just simply drop the bench in here and try to eyeball it, but you're never quite sure how even it is in the middle. You want to make sure that both arms are supplying the same force and working at the same angle. So an easy way to do that is just drop the bar all the way down to the bench, and then that gives you a better idea of how close you've got it in the middle. You can get it right in the middle and make sure that each arm is applying the same amount of force. My cardiac acceleration is going to be a unique move that is Smith machine power cleans, but we'll get into that a little more after my working set. My close grip is shoulder width apart. There was a study that actually showed that shoulder width incorporated just as much of the tricep muscle fibers as if you went closer. The only thing that going closer did was put more stress on the wrists. So save your wrists. The other thing I like to use is an open grip. It's safe on the Smith machine because the bar's guided, so you don't have to worry about it slipping out of your hands. But when you're using an open grip, it allows you to press with the palms, and that can help you focus more on contracting the triceps versus using chest and shoulders like on a normal bench press. Now to do the Smith machine power cleans, you're going to drop the weight all the way down. I'm going to take a little bit of weight off it. Now most people think, why would you do a power clean in the Smith machine? Well, it's actually fairly beneficial for those who aren't really accustomed to doing power cleans, because with the Smith machine, the bar is on a track. Now it's going to keep the bar close to your body, which is exactly what you want to do when you do power cleans. A lot of people end up doing more of a curling motion and curling the bar in front of them. That's not what you want. You want to pull the bar straight up to your shoulders. Using the Smith machine allows you to sort of practice that movement because the bar's already guided, so you can't get out of that range of motion. Remember, the power clean is an explosive move, so you want to do a bit of a jump as you throw the weight up. This is a full body exercise using your legs and your upper body to throw the weight up there. Keep the weight light so that you can try to go for a minute. If you can only get 30 seconds, that's fine. This one's very intense. You really get the heart rate going. All right, we finished up with chest and triceps, and now we're moving right into abs. And remember, the only reason I'm resting is to talk to you and give you some tips. Otherwise, we'd be moving right into the next exercise. In this case, it's gonna be the rope crunch. Focuses more on the upper abs. Later on, we'll be doing the Smith machine hip thrusts to focus more on the lower abs. So in this workout, we're hitting upper and then lower. Later in the week, we'll also include exercises that'll hit the obliques as well, and even the core. Remember, it's important to focus on all the muscles of the midsection. So my cardio acceleration exercise in between for this one is just going to be a fast step up. All right, we're back over here at the Smith machine for Smith machine hip thrust. Those of you who followed my shortcut to size know this exercise well. It's not a pretty move, but it is the best way to target the lower abs because you're allowed to add resistance, and we know that adding resistance is important when even training abs. You want to periodize all muscle groups, including the abs. That's the best way to get the most muscular development, and the lower abs is that tough area to bring up for a lot of people. So this is a great exercise for targeting the lower abs and help to create better development in those lower muscle fibers. It's also a great core exercise as well. Now, like with rope crunches, we're going to do 3 sets of Smith machine hip thrusts, and in between, my cardio acceleration move here is going to be back to doing the bench step-ups, but here I'm going to be doing it on the adjustable bench that I've placed in the Smith machine. Now, this is the final exercise of the workout. We've only got 3 sets and 3 sets of cardio acceleration left to go. Being that this is your first workout using cardio acceleration, non-stop pace, you're going to be winded. Trust me, you're not going to be feeling good at this point, but you're going to feel real good when the workout's over. And you'll notice as the days go by, not even the full week, by the end of the week, you'll notice that the workouts are getting easier as your body adapts to this non-stop pace using the cardio acceleration. And actually with the cardio acceleration, you'll find that your recovery after the workouts are better. So that's it for the Shortcut to Shred workout overview video. Now remember, Shortcut to Shred is not just about getting shredded. Yes, that's a critical part of this program, but you're also gaining more lean muscle and strength. So it's critical that you follow up each workout with your post-workout shake. You want to get those critical nutrients into your muscle as fast as possible. That's going to aid recovery, boost muscle growth, and even aid fat loss. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go back to the Shortcut to Shred landing page and watch my supplement overview video and read the supplement overview page. So you're making sure you're taking the proper supplements at the right times. Remember, on the Shortcut to Shred landing page, each day of the program is broken down into full detail with daily workouts, content, and tips from me, even on your rest days.